Why hello there everyone. Yesterday it was officially announced that Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown would be part of the PS Plus lineup for the month of June. I know a lot of you guys in the comments were talking about this in my last video, but at that point it was still just a rumor and I didn't want to report on it until it was official, but lo and behold it is official now, and that's definitely great because this will definitely help the game quite a bit, and it will definitely give it at least some kind of player base for the first month, right? During the month of June in which it's on PS Plus, it will definitely help to kickstart the game and give it a player base. I don't know, like who knows if any significant amount of that player base will stick around after the month of June, right? And also, you know, after Guilty Gear Strive comes out, since Guilty Gear Strive is releasing soon after that as well. But I think it definitely helps the game quite a bit, and there were a lot of feisty comments in the last video, so I just want to remind everyone, I just want to reiterate that I do not want the game to fail, okay? I want the game to do well. I'm just observing that it seems like Sega is somewhat sabotaging this game's release. For example, no rollback, right? No rollback's a big issue. I've already seen a lot of people talk about how that's a deal breaker for them and they're not even going to try playing the game because of no rollback. So I understand that implementing rollback in a 3D fighting game is a little bit trickier than implementing it in a 2D fighting game, but it'll eventually happen, and once it happens, that will be the new norm. I wonder if, like, I'm sort of worried, if I were Sega, I'd be worried that Tekken 8 would get announced shortly after, and Tekken 8 would drop with a trailer, with an announcement trailer, and also announce that it's getting rollback netcode. And if that happens, Tekken 8 would then be the dominant 3D fighting game. It would be the best, it would be the definitive 3D fighting game moving forward, since 3D fighting games typically have, you know, pretty mediocre to average input delay based netcode. Anyways, in addition to the PS Plus announcement from yesterday, early this morning we got a presentation of sorts. It was definitely a very Japanese-y presentation with a lot of talking, and the stream quality was pretty bad, but you could still definitely see the gameplay. That's what you're watching right now. That's what the footage is. And the whole thing was in Japanese, so I can't say I understood all of it, but I did understand some of it, and that is some of the monetization strategy that the game will employ. So the base game is what's going to be free on PS Plus, but the monetized aspects will be things like costumes and I think stages as well. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. You know, it's a good medium for Sega being able to turn some kind of profit from this after they get some people playing it for free. I'm definitely going to play this game, like, at least for a week or two, right? I mean, I might as well if I'm going to get it on PS Plus. I just don't know if I'm going to stick with it for a while because I'm having a lot of fun playing Power Rangers again now that Ryu and Chun-Li got added. So I'm probably just going to go back to that. But like I said, I definitely want to play this for at least a week or two just to show Sega that there are people playing it right. Even if you're not interested in fighting games, I would highly recommend everybody, you know, if you have PS Plus, even if you're not interested in fighting games, download it and at least just, you know, play through the arcade mode at least once or something, just to show Sega that there is interest in this somewhat, so that way we can get a sequel. Because my main worry now at this point is that they're using this to gauge interest in the franchise. And whenever companies do this, it's always a dumb idea, right? It's sort of reminiscent of Capcom's Darkstalkers Resurrection. I'm worried that Sega might monitor this game's performance and its popularity, and if it doesn't do well, they might misinterpret that as a perceived lack of interest in the franchise as a whole, and then not give us a sequel just because this old game with a new coat of paint doesn't do well, right? That's dumb. It's always dumb when companies use old games to gauge interest for new games. Also, there was a themed fight stick shown off in the presentation, which looks pretty cool. You know, I'm a connoisseur of fight sticks and just controllers in general, so I thought that was pretty exciting. I'm not sure if it's a PS5 controller or a PS4 controller, or a PS5 fight stick or a PS4 fight stick. I assume PS4 just because this game is a PS4 game, but I think it should work for PS5 as well. If somebody else knows more about that, you can enlighten me in the comments. Oh, by the way, before I go, I know some of you in the comments of my last video were disagreeing with my opinion that they should have dropped the number 5 from the title. But I found out that the game in Japan, the same game, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown as we know it, that same game in Japan is being branded as Virtua Fighter Cross eSports, simply titled Virtua Fighter eSports. It doesn't have the number 5 at all. So that proves that there is definitely value in dropping the number from the title. It proves at least that Sega sees the value in it, right? Which means they must have considered dropping the 5 in the Western releases title as well, but for whatever reason they didn't. But you get my point. Anyways, I will see you all later, and bye for now.